Hi everybody! Now we are going to start looking for a supplier so that we can narrow down to one of the products on our list and place our first order. Now, the first place we're going to be looking on is Alibaba.com. This is a huge database, and there are tens of thousands of suppliers here selling just about everything that you could possibly imagine. Now, we are looking for an emergency fire starter. More specifically, we want one of those fire starter rods that we looked at because we know that those are selling well, so they have good potential. Right up here in the search bar, just type in what it is you're looking for. So I'm looking for an emergency fire starter rod. And then go ahead and click search. You're going to come up with a number of listings. This could be thousands, or it might just be a few hundred, as in the case of an emergency fire starter rod. But we need to narrow that down a bit because we only want assess suppliers. It's very important that you tick this box. So now we've narrowed it down to 39 different product listings. Now, the reason we only want assess suppliers is that we know that assess suppliers can be trusted. The other thing we want to look for is we want them to have been at least 2 years as a gold supplier here on Alibaba. There is no need to tick the gold supplier box because every assess supplier is a gold supplier anyway. Alright, now for this particular product, I don't have a lot of choice. Sometimes, as I say, there are thousands. But in any case, let's scroll on down and see if we can find something that's similar to the product here. This product here. This here looks actually very much like this product here. And here I'm hovering my mouse over it to zoom in. And what you can see is that, in fact, this fire rod, this fire starter rod, has just had a sticker put on it with the actual seller's logo. This looks very much like that product. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. Now the minimum order is 50 pieces, which is fine. Now the price is between 20 cents and $2 per piece, but we can assume that on an order of 50 pieces, it's going to be more like $2.20. But that's okay. Let's scroll down and take a look. And under the description here, it says 5,000 to 12,000 times spark ignition. And over here, on the Amazon listing, we've got lasts more than 12,000 strikes. It's possible this is the exact same product. Not certain, of course, it may not be, but it's very possible. What we can do here is click on company profile, and now we get all this information. Year established 2010, that's good. Top 3 markets are North America, Eastern Europe, and their own domestic market. So what we know from this is that the majority of their production is exported, which is good because they're accustomed to exporting and they've been exporting a lot. Also, we have the opportunity of visiting this seller's website. Right here, visit the supplier's website. This is going to let us know what else they sell. So what other products do they have in this range? So in this type of product, in this category. So they have various different products that are all, within this same kind of survival category. Now, the next thing we want to take a look at here is we want to go back to product details, and we're interested in the packaging and shipping. It's 50 pieces per bag. That would mean per box, per shipping carton. Now, these are very small and very light. So, in fact, the shipping costs will be low on this product, which means that even paying $2 per piece and even putting 2 of them together, as this seller has done here, this would still be okay. This would still work well because our shipping costs are going to be very low, lower than average really, because of the size of these things. They're very small. And delivery details ship 5 days after payment. Now it doesn't say anything about what they are packed in, apart from they're packed 50 together. What I'm assuming here is that this seller sells these just loose. So in other words, you would have to have them put into your own packaging. But that's okay. We're going to be covering that, and that can be done. Right, so let's say we want to move to the next step with the supplier. What we do is now we need to contact them, and to do that, click on Get Latest Price, quantity needed 50, we'll leave it at that, and then click on Get Latest Price. Do not tick this. Recommend matching suppliers if this supplier doesn't contact me on Message Center within 24 hours. Don't tick this. Because if you do, you're going to get all sorts of replies that you are not interested in. It's time wasting, and it's not the best way to go about doing this. Now, when you click Get Latest Price, you're going to be prompted to join. So sign in or join now. Now, assuming that you don't already have an account, you click on Join Alibaba. So all you're doing here is entering your details under company name. If you do not have a company, just enter your own name and your account registration will go through no problem at all. Okay, on the PDF handout that goes with this lecture, there's a sample template email that you can use when you click on Get Latest Price here and you are sending a message to this supplier. It's important that the messages you send to suppliers are professional. A lot of times, the reason why people don't get replies from suppliers is because of the message they sent. I have never had a problem getting replies and responses from suppliers, but I've heard about other people that have. Not students in this course, because students in this course follow the guidelines and they use the email template provided, but I've heard of others who say they don't get any replies from suppliers. Well, I can only assume it's got something to do with what they've written or the way they have written the message to the supplier. Once you've done that, go back to the search results and do it again with another 3 or 4 suppliers. Now right here, I don't have that many to choose from because I want one of these fire starter rods. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for something like this or this. And there are not a lot of listings. Most of the listings that are on here are this same company. This is the same company. All right. So maybe you won't have that many choices. But if you do, if there are a lot of choices, because more often than not, you're going to have a lot of choices. So you would make a list of 3 or 4, 5 even, of those suppliers. So what to do is basically just go ahead and take the URL, open up a spreadsheet, and name that spreadsheet the particular product that you're dealing with, that you're searching for and trying to find a supplier for. In this case, it's the emergency fire starter rod. Name your spreadsheet, that product, and list on the spreadsheet the URLs of the suppliers that you have contacted. Okay, let's do this one more time with a different product. And this time we're going to go for bicycle rear light. We're going to tick the assess supplier box to narrow it down to only assess suppliers. And this time we have a lot more choices. There's almost 3,000 listings. So let's scroll on down. This looks promising at first glance. The minimum order is 100 pieces and it's between 50 cents and $1. It is a 7-year company, being 7 years as a gold supplier here. And at first glance, this looks good. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And scrolling on down, I want to take a look at the packaging detail. It comes packed in a box. So that's the color box. That's basically the retail packaging. Shipped 15 days after payment, that's okay. Anything really up to 30 days is okay, but if it's over 30 days, that's a little bit long, so it's a good idea to find a different supplier if that's the case. I cannot see here how many are packed into a shipping carton, but I would imagine that it's 100 because the minimum order is 100 pieces. And again, this is a very small thing and it's also very, very light. So again, shipping on this would be low. Now, just to quickly talk about the MOQ, the minimum order that is stated beside the seller's listings, you can very often get a much lower MOQ. So for example, this here, I like the look of this better than I like the look of this, but I definitely don't want 5,000 pieces. So one thing I can do is now go scrolling through and find another supplier with a low minimum order of the exact same product. Actually, this is a good one here as well. I like the look of this one. Minimum order, 100 pieces. But I've digressed a little bit. What I was trying to tell you there was that even if it is a high minimum order, very often they will allow you to order a small order of say 50 or 100 pieces if you ask them. Not always, but very often they will. Now let's say I was going to do exactly that here with this. I would click on Get Latest Price, and in the quantity needed, I would change that to 50 or 100. I would then email using the template on the PDF to ask for a lower quantity. Alright, so all the templates that you need are on the PDF. All you need to do is copy and paste those templates and edit them with your own details. It's really as simple as that. Okay, so then what happens? What happens then when we get some replies from suppliers and we are happy with one, we get one that we're happy with, or maybe even more than one we're happy with. The next step is you want to get a sample. So you want to ask for a sample to be sent to you so that you can evaluate the quality of that product. Make sure it's something that you would be happy with if you bought. Normally, suppliers will let you have samples for free, but they will charge you for the shipping, which is understandable. Otherwise, people will just use this to get free stuff all the time. So the sample you won't get charged for. It's only a couple of dollars or a few dollars anyway. For the shipping, you will get charged for the sample. Nevertheless, I do recommend that you get a sample before you place an order. You want to just make absolutely sure that you're happy with it and that the quality is good. And most suppliers here on Alibaba, they're supplying good quality stuff because they have to. They're up against a lot of competition here. There are tons of suppliers and they all want our business. So if they don't produce good quality stuff, what happens is they soon get bombed out and they really wouldn't have much of a business. Okay, so that's Alibaba. It is not difficult to deal with the Chinese suppliers. You will find them very easy to deal with. Use the email templates on the PDF handout. You won't have any problems at all. And follow the criteria here, looking for assessed suppliers only, 2 years or 2 years or more than 2 years as a gold supplier. And you will not have any problems or worries about getting scammed or anything. All right, let's move on to the next lecture.